Have you ever stopped to think that the spiritual wisdom of Jesus and Hermetic principles might be more connected than they appear? It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? After all, how can religious teachings be united with a field often associated with esotericism and occultism? However, by delving deeply into the concepts, we uncover a surprising, almost magical connection that could transform the way you perceive life in the universe. Imagine accessing hidden wisdom, capable of aligning spirituality with practical knowledge. Curious to explore this revealing truth? Then get ready, because you are about to uncover something extraordinary. Since time immemorial, humanity has sought answers to the mysteries of the universe. In this context, the Hermetic principles emerge as keys to understanding the cosmos. Isn't it intriguing to notice how this seemingly arcane wisdom resonates with the teachings of Jesus? Both offer a guide for navigating esotericism and spirituality in a practical way. It's as if universal messages, hidden in ancient texts, converge to reveal that the universe is more accessible than we imagine. For instance, when Jesus spoke of seeking and finding, he emphasized the idea that deep knowledge has always been within reach for those who seek it. The connection between spirituality and Hermeticism is not just theoretical, but also in practices we can adopt today. Think of deep meditations, readings like the Kybalion, which explores these Hermetic principles, or even reflecting on biblical passages. Each of these steps is a way to apply this knowledge that Jesus also shared in his journey. There is nothing mysterious about it. It's about opening yourself to a greater truth. And if you dedicate yourself, you will notice that everything, from natural laws to daily events, is intertwined by this hidden wisdom. When we analyze the words of Jesus, it's impossible to ignore their depth. He said, "He who has eyes to see, let him see." What does this really mean? Simple. Knowledge is all around, but few are willing to see it. It's like a hidden map in plain sight, and the Hermetic principles act as a compass. This is not about empty mysticism, but about perceiving the invisible in everyday interactions, such as the flow of conversations, the energy of people, or the cycles we experience. What do you see around you right now? Imagine using this knowledge to improve your life. Apply the wisdom of seeking balance in everyday challenges. If something seems impossible, ask yourself, what lesson is the universe trying to teach me? Jesus and Hermeticism agree that the answers are within us. By recognizing this, you begin to notice patterns that once went unnoticed, like moments of silence that bring clarity. Choose a moment of your day to reflect and see the difference it makes. You will be practically applying what these masters have been suggesting for centuries. Thus, the hidden wisdom invites us to look at the world with new eyes. It's like opening a door that has always been there, but seemed invisible. Jesus and the Hermetic principles do not contradict each other. They complement one another, pointing to the same universal truth. The most amazing thing is realizing that, by diving into these teachings, you not only understand the universe, but also your role in it. Get ready to dive deeper into this journey, because the next principle reveals that the universe is more mental than physical. Fascinating, don't you think? The universe is mental. It may sound bold to say this, but it's exactly what the principle of mentalism teaches us, and surprisingly, Jesus also taught the same. When he said, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he," he made it clear that our thoughts shape our reality. Imagine this as a blank canvas. What you believe, think, and feel transforms into colors and forms that fill your life. Practice observing your thoughts. Ask yourself, what have I been mentally focusing on today? This small change can open doors to an impressive transformation. Have you ever noticed how people with unwavering faith seem to achieve more? This isn't by chance. They align their thoughts and beliefs with what they desire, just as Jesus taught. In Hermeticism, this idea is reinforced. The mind is the primary force behind everything. Try this exercise. Write down your goals on paper and visualize them as if they were already real. This isn't superstition. It's aligning your energy with what you want. When Jesus performed miracles, he fully believed in the outcome before taking action. Faith here is a powerful catalyst. And if you think this is just a theory, think about science. Modern studies on neuroplasticity show that the way we think literally shapes our brain. Jesus already knew this, and the Hermetic principles reinforce the same lesson. If you fill your mind with negative thoughts, what do you think you'll reap? On the other hand, by cultivating positive thoughts and a mindset of abundance, you're planting seeds of prosperity. Try this. When you wake up tomorrow, choose 3 things you're grateful for and notice how your energy shifts. It's simple, but transformative. Now, think of times when you felt something was beyond your control, but by changing your mindset, everything started to flow. This isn't magic. It's the principle of mentalism in action. Jesus demonstrated this when he healed people. Your faith has made you whole. He taught that change starts from within. You can practice this starting with small things like deciding that today will be a good day, regardless of the circumstances. The power is in your mind, and understanding this is the first step to transforming your reality. Just like in Hermeticism, Jesus reminds us that the universe responds to our consciousness. It's not mere coincidence, but a deep connection between what we think and what we experience. Think about this. If your mind creates your reality, what thoughts do you want to feed? Get ready, because the next principle, correspondence, expands this idea and leads us to understand connection between the inner and outer worlds in an even more fascinating way. Shall we discover it? The principle of correspondence, as above, so below, resonates with Jesus' famous phrase, "The kingdom of God is within you." This teaching shows us that what we see in the external world is a reflection of our inner world. When life seems chaotic, it may be an invitation to look within. Try an experiment. Take a few minutes to meditate and observe your thoughts. Are they aligned with what you want to manifest in the world? This simple practice can help find balance between the spiritual and the physical, revealing hidden harmony. Think of correspondence as a mirror. What you feel and believe is reflected in your life. When Jesus spoke about the kingdom of God, he taught that our actions in the material world have their roots in our spirit. In esotericism, this idea manifests in the balance between energies. For example, if you desire peace around you, start by cultivating it within yourself. Practice simple acts like journaling about your emotions or reconnecting with nature to align your body and soul. These are small yet powerful gestures. When Jesus said, "Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven," he emphasized this interconnection. In Hermeticism, this connection between planes is also central. Everything is interconnected, like the movement of the tides reflecting the phases of the moon. Think of this in your routine. How does what you do in the physical world impact your spiritual energy? Try reorganizing your space intentionally, such as cleaning your home with the mindset that you are also purifying your mind. Small external changes can bring about great internal transformations. In practice, living the principle of correspondence is aligning intention with action. It is recognizing that everything is connected, from the smallest particle to the infinite cosmos. When Jesus said, "Faith moves mountains," he showed that our actions in the physical world are empowered by our inner belief. Try applying this to your life, set spiritual and physical goals, and see how they strengthen each other. For example, when starting a new self-care routine, align it with meditation or prayer. It's a cycle of renewal that reflects universal balance. Thus, the principle of correspondence reminds us to view life as a dance between the visible and the invisible. Jesus and Hermeticism show us that there is no separation. What is outside reflects what is inside, and vice versa. As we explore the next principle, vibration, we will realize that everything, absolutely everything, is in constant motion, and we can learn to harmonize this energy. Ready to continue? Everything in the universe vibrates, and this is not just a Hermetic concept. Jesus demonstrated this principle through his actions. When he calmed the storm by saying, "Quiet, be still," he showed that he understood the vibrational essence of nature. But what does this mean for us? Think about how vibrations influence our lives. The music we listen to, the words we speak, the environments we frequent. Everything emits energy, and this energy affects us deeply. Try listening to music that lifts your spirit and notice how your emotional state instantly changes. This is vibration in action. Jesus also showed that our words carry vibration. He said, "It is not what goes into the mouth that defile, but what comes out of it." This reminds us that our words have creative power. In occultism, we learn that words and sounds are tools to shape reality. Try this experiment. Replace complaints with positive affirmations for a week and observe how things begin to align in surprising ways. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this," declare, "I am capable of overcoming this challenge." You'll feel the difference. Vibrations also connect us to others and the world around us. Think about how a smile can be contagious and improve the environment, or how an argument makes the air heavy. In Hermeticism, this is explained through energetic resonance. If you want to attract good vibes, start by emitting them. This can be done with simple gestures, like offering help without expecting anything in return or practicing gratitude. These actions carry a powerful vibration that reverberates throughout the universe and returns to you. After all, as Jesus taught, give, and it will be given to you. A practical way to align with good vibrations is by creating a high-energy space in your home. Light incense, listen to mantras, or read spiritual texts that elevate your mind. Just as Jesus used silence to connect with God, you too can find harmony by reducing the noise around you. Try setting aside 10 minutes a day to quiet your mind and focus on your breathing. This simple act of tuning your vibration can bring deep peace and open the way for creative solutions and powerful insights. Understanding the principle of vibration is realizing that we are constantly emitting and receiving energy. When Jesus healed people, he adjusted their vibrations to a state of health and balance. You too can adjust your vibrations by surrounding yourself with things that nourish your soul and avoiding what drains your energy. As we move on to the next principle, polarity, we'll see how apparent opposites can unite in a harmonious dance. Curious? Let's move forward. The principle of polarity teaches us that everything in the universe has two sides, but these opposites are, in fact, parts of the same essence. Jesus knew this. When he said, "The last will be first, and the first will be last," he was showing the unity hidden within dualities. Think of light and darkness. One cannot exist without the other. In everyday life, this means that the challenges we face also carry valuable lessons. If you're going through a tough time today, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Polarity also manifests in our emotions. Joy and sadness seem opposite, but one is only valued because we know the other. Jesus demonstrated this balance by bringing comfort to the distressed, showing that moments of pain also carry the promise of relief. Practice this by embracing your emotions without judgment. If you're sad, allow yourself to feel, but remember, sadness is just a point in the spectrum of happiness. In occultism, this acceptance of polarities is seen as a path to inner peace. In practice, living the principle of polarity is about finding harmony in the extremes. For example, if you deal with anxiety, try balancing it with deliberate moments of calm. Jesus did this by retreating to pray in solitude, even when surrounded by crowds. Do the same. Find a moment in your day to disconnect from everything and just be. This doesn't immediately eliminate anxiety, but creates balance, showing that you can handle both poles consciously. This principle also teaches us that the opposite of what we fear can be conquered. In Hermeticism, we learn to transmute the poles by changing our perception. If you're afraid of failing, turn that into curiosity to learn. Jesus demonstrated this idea by encouraging his followers to have faith, even when everything seemed lost. Try doing this with something you fear today. Take a small step in the direction opposite to fear. You'll see that courage and fear are simply two sides of the same coin. Understanding polarity is an invitation to see beyond appearances. Opposites are allies, not enemies. Jesus and the Hermetic principles show us that it is in the unity of opposites that we find true strength. As we move on to the next principle, rhythm, we'll see how the cycles and movements of the universe also contribute to this balance. Shall we explore together? Life is made of cycles, and the principle of rhythm teaches us that everything has its time. Just like the sea comes and goes, our lives go through highs and lows. Jesus recognized this when he said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He knew that even suffering has a rhythm that, at the right moment, transforms into relief. Think about the last time you faced a challenge and then felt the calm afterward. This rhythm is universal, and understanding it helps cultivate patience and faith. In occultism, rhythm is seen as a constant pulse that affects all things. Just like the sun rises and sets, our lives follow this inevitable pattern. Consider this in practice. If you're going through a tough time, remember that the next cycle might bring renewal. To reinforce this idea, try adopting a habit that respects natural cycles, like sleeping and waking with the sun's light. This helps synchronize your energy with the rhythms of the earth, promoting harmony between the physical and the spiritual. Jesus also showed the importance of respecting cycles when he said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." He knew that resisting the natural rhythm creates unnecessary suffering. Instead of fighting the tide, flow with it. When you're in a period of introspection, use it to reflect and plan. During moments of action, dive in fully. Try planning your weeks by observing your energy levels. There are days when you're more productive and others when you need rest. Respecting these cycles is an act of self-care. Moreover, rhythm teaches us that even moments of pause have value. Think about how music relies on the silence between the notes to create harmony. Jesus would withdraw to pray and renew his strength before facing the crowds. You can do the same by intentionally incorporating pauses into your routine. Try meditating or simply sitting in silence for 5 minutes every day. These do-nothing moments are actually part of the rhythm that nourishes your soul and prepares you for upcoming challenges. Just like the rhythm of the universe guides the ebb and flow of the tides, it also teaches us to trust in divine timing. There is a time for everything, and resisting it only causes frustration. When we understand that life is a cycle, we learn to appreciate both the highs and the lows. As we move on to the next principle, cause and effect, we'll see how our actions create waves that resonate in all future cycles. Ready to discover how to plant seeds that generate grand results? Let's move ahead. The principle of cause and effect reminds us that everything we do generates a consequence. Jesus highlighted this when he said, "A man reaps what he sows." It's a powerful reminder that our choices impact us, both now and in the future. Imagine each of your actions as a stone thrown into a lake. The ripples reach places you can't even imagine. Want to reap prosperity? Plant kindness, effort, and honesty. A good starting point is to identify today one small action you can take to benefit someone around you. This principle also challenges us to take responsibility for what we create. In Hermeticism, we understand that each thought and intention is a seed planted. Jesus demonstrated this when he healed people. He knew their faith was the cause and the healing the effect. In practice, you can experience this by creating an intentional action journal. Write down your intentions in the morning and at night reflect on how your actions shape your day. Small daily adjustments can create a positive domino effect in your life. Have you noticed how our words have an impact? When Jesus said, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks," he was highlighting the relationship between cause, what we feel, and effect, what we say. Think before you speak. Your words can either build or destroy. For example, replace impulsive criticisms with sincere compliments. Try this in your relationships and observe how they flourish. The power of this principle lies in realizing that everything, from what we think to what we do, has consequences, whether good or bad. One fascinating aspect of this principle is that it gives us power. If our actions create our destiny, we have the ability to shape it. In occultism, this idea is called practical magic, but you don't need spells to apply it. Jesus gave us a clear example when he said, "Ask, and it will be given to you." In other words, take action toward what you desire. If you dream of something, start small, learn, plan, and act consistently. This sequence of causes will create effects that can transform your life in extraordinary ways. Understanding cause and effect is like having a map of life in your hands. Each choice is a route, and each route leads us to a destination. Jesus and Hermeticism show us that, by acting with awareness, we can create a future aligned with our dreams. Now that you've seen how everything is connected, from the mind to the universe, from cycles to actions, it's time to apply this knowledge. Shall we explore together how to transform life into something truly extraordinary? The wisdom that runs through the 7 Hermetic principles, aligned with the teachings of Jesus, is not just theoretical. It is an invitation to transform your life. Imagine the life you could build if you started applying each of these principles in your daily routine. It doesn't matter if today seems difficult or even impossible. Remember that every great master began as a student. The question is, are you willing to take the first step toward that transformation? Because the key is, and always has been, in your hands. Think of everything we've discussed. Your mind shapes reality, as in the principle of mentalism. What have you been feeding your mind lately? In the principle of cause and effect, what are you sowing today to reap tomorrow? The rhythm of life teaches us that even in difficult times, there is a divine flow. Are you trusting this rhythm, or are you trying to fight against it? These questions are not meant to remain unanswered. They are an invitation for you to reflect deeply and take action. If each principle resonated with you in some way, which one will you start practicing first? The secret is not to do everything at once, but to start small. Try writing a positive intention every day. Meditate for 5 minutes thinking about the principle of vibration. Reflect on how the opposites in your life can complement each other rather than cancel each other out. Small changes lead to great transformations, but you are the one who needs to ignite this flame. Now it's up to you. What are you willing to do differently starting today? If this message touched you, leave a comment with the word manifestation. Declare your intention to the universe and watch how the energy begins to conspire in your favor. Subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of self-discovery and learning. Turn on the notification bell because there is much more wisdom waiting for you in the upcoming videos. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life. Remember, you are the creator of your reality. So, shall we go together? The universe is waiting for your answer.